So after almost 35 minutes of that, then we got another 10 minutes of commercials and a Big E history package. And that prefaced the cataclysmic main event of champion versus champion, but with no championships on the line. Big E versus Roman Reigns, just to make one of these people subservient to the other. And there were nearly 10 minutes of entrances here for a single match. And that's why I wrote, I got to come back to this tomorrow, because I was worn out. 3 hours into this show, the main event is just starting, and it's taking them 10 minutes to get in the ring. So I didn't want to just shit all over it, so I stopped and I came back to it earlier this morning. Now I'll shit all over it with a fresh mind. No, here's the thing. This was not a bad wrestling match. Big E is not a bad wrestler. He's strong and agile. He worked his ass off. His work seems to be good. It doesn't seem to be dangerous. They just have not gotten him there with the booking and the way that he's been presented. And I know a lot, oh, look at all the time they've pushed the New Day. That's the problem. Look at all the time and the way they push the New Day. All the unicorn vomit and the pancakes and the cereal and the leprechauns and whatever. Yes, they were fine and they're over as a tag team unit, but I'm sorry, you can't just split a guy out of that, make one of them the new world champion on one of your brands and the other one the king of the ring in that length of time and have people buy it. And Vince and Bruce Pritchard know that better than anybody. Laurinaitis wasn't around in the WWE when the business was its hottest there, but at one point in time, from 96 to 2004 or 5, just that period, you had multiple people at the top of the card that could win the world title at any time, could be taken by the fans as a world champion level guy. I mean, you had Taker, Shawn, Brett, Foley, or Austin, Rock, Triple H, or Cena, Orton, Batista, or combinations of many of those people all at the same time. Right now, for most of the fans, in their mind, Roman Reigns might lose to Brock Lesnar, but nobody else. So this match, as a Survivor Series main event, as a wrestling match, it was very good. As a Survivor Series main event, or as a world title match, or as a match between world champions with a title not on the line, I'm sorry, do you think anybody saw this competitive or couldn't figure the finish ahead of time?
I couldn't imagine why anyone wouldn't be able to figure out the finish. Or who would go over, I should say.
Who would win, not the actual manner in which they did it. And that's the thing. I mean, it was a good match. It was a little long again, but this would be a classic television match, Raw match, SmackDown match. Nobody bought that Big E was going to win this. That spear he does through the ropes is scary. He hit Reigns with that, and Reigns recovered and speared him right afterwards. It's like as soon as somebody gives a big, impressive move to somebody, the next movement has to be the person that just took that move blistering the other guy back. They had people going in the later stages of this. You could not only hear them, but you could see the people on some of these false finishes and things popping and or being up and down. They had it. But again, on the finish, they both ended up on the floor and were selling, one on one side of the fucking ring and one on the other side with the steps in between them. And I mean, I could see this spot coming, and I don't watch that particularly often, but Big E stands up and Roman Reigns runs up off the steps with a Superman punch. Boom. And throws him in the ring. And you think, okay, he's going to hit him with something there. But as he gets in the ring, Big E immediately, Reigns tries to do something, and Big E immediately goes to slam him. Like he's just taken the Superman punch like 10 seconds beforehand. He's already picking Roman Reigns up. But Reigns drops behind, clips his leg, hits the ropes, and spears him. Boom, 1, 2, 3. So that was the finish for their battle of the two champions of the world and the universe and the company. Superman punch, go for something. He goes to slam you, drop behind, chop his leg, hit the rope, spear, 1, 2, 3. Heyman didn't have to cheat, interfere, distract. Nobody came down. Not saying that that's not overdone also, but in a battle of the top guy on each brand, the top guy on the real top brand just beat the other guy fucking flat in the middle and didn't really stress him out to do it. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, I saw a match that bored me. Despite the people that were in it, the entrances took forever. I don't believe in Big E. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it that way. I'm not a fan of Big E. And I know other people love him. They're like, oh, his matches are good and oh, this and that. But too much silliness, too much goofiness for too long. And now I'm supposed to see him as a serious main eventer. I don't see him as a main eventer. I really don't. And this match did nothing for me. This whole pay-per-view did nothing. This whole pay-per-view was garbage.
No.
I don't care about Becky Charlotte.
They started good.
No, you know what? Everything else on this show was so bad that I don't care how good that match was in your eyes. I think this was such a...
Yeah, you've turned on them.
I think this was a dreadful show. This was a horrible show. And Vince being a part of it just made you think more and more how bad it was because you realize, oh, he's hands-on. As soon as you see him there, it's all you're thinking. This is his show. He's hands-on, even though he is when he's not on camera. As soon as you see him there, all you're thinking is, oh, this is all Vince. And it was awful. Bad comedy with pizza and just all this crap. This is so bad.
And, there's been sponsorships since the dawn of time, but they don't have to wholeheartedly embrace the pizza to the point where that they're fighting each other with the pizza. And AJ goes to steal the pizza and Montez Ford knocks him out to retain the pizza.
And by the way, there's a lawsuit. Some fans in the crowd. Oh, what are they doing over there? I can't see. Oh, I just got hit in the eye with a pizza.
Oh my God, the sauce, it burns. It burns. I mean, projectile thrown by one of the performers hits them. Can you see if somebody had gone to the first aid thing and I got pizza in my eye?
That's what the guy who attacked Rollins should say. The night before I got hit in the face with a pizza and I just was not going to let this stay.
I went to the medical facility. They had to perform a radical saucectomy.
If they're going to throw pizza at me, I'm going to tackle them. That's my rule.
And also now that we've said all these things, the next time they throw pizza, somebody is going to be trying to jump up with their face in front of it to get hit in the eye with the pizza.
I would pay to see that on a wrestling show. Someone throw pizza, people jumping out without the use of their hands and trying to just get smacked in the face of pizza.
Do the dolphin jump.
The pogo.
Flipper and then just even get the pizza in the face. There's no life to this. And they wonder... Though I will fully admit this, now AEW is having good matches and good interviews, and they're also still having really bad matches and bad interviews, but everything they do has life to it, even if it's to laugh at the amateurishness of what you're seeing, and you can't believe what you're seeing, but it's still better than, I just don't really like what I'm seeing because it's so boring.
Watching this pay-per-view, I did have one other thought, because there has been a lot of AEW stuff that I have just loved lately. CM Punk, MJF, the Bryan Danielson heel turn, a lot of the Darby Allin stuff. Of course, the greatness of Leo Rush and Dante Martin, one of the great comedy teams of all time.
Rush and Martin are going to replace Olsen and Johnson?
There's so much stuff there that I really like. The really good stuff is really, really good. And it needs to be pointed out. The really good stuff is really, really good. But the bad stuff, the stuff I don't like the bad comedy and just the matches that don't register to me, but other people may see them and go, oh, 5 stars instantly. They fit in more with the WWE product that you see on these shows than they do with the AEW product of the really good stuff. Do the Young Bucks fit in with the good stuff with the CM Punks and the Bryan Danielsons and the MJFs and the Darby Allins and every other name you could think of? Or do they fit in with the fucking New Day and the pizza throwers
and the Street Profits
and the people acting like clowns on this show? I mean, it's night and day.
And we were told ahead of time that that's what the people didn't want, was more sports entertainment tomfoolery from a company like they get from the WWE. So what do they get? They get the cosplaying vice presidents doing stuff that's too silly for the WWE to do. Well, I don't know after the Survivor Series. Maybe they've cross that bar. There's nothing too silly.